Okay, the next step in the process is to download content from Blackboard and organize it into folders that you've created on, that I've created this on my Spring 2020 Healthcare folder, and I have a HCSI folder for 55011. And in that there are additional resources folder, a place to move the migrated content that's not organized, and then all the stuff in here will be moved into the different folders. I think I'll do a real quick folder saying new folder called migrated quizzes, just so I can move and I can get rid of this new folder. Delete. Delete that folder. Okay. So I'm going to move all of these in there. Now, most of these I've already moved into the folder in the last video, but I'm going to put it in there so it doesn't mess up this place. And I see I have a spelling error, so I'm going to rename this content. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Blackboard, and I'm going to go, if you get into the Blackboard course and you go all the way down to the bottom, it's usually open like this, and here's where we see the course modules, and here's where we see the content. It's down below under course management. We're going to open up the HCSI 511 copy, and then here's where we see all the content that's been uploaded into this course, and we're going to grab it and we're going to organize it. But first we're going to show all. And if you remember, in this particular course, I'm going to actually start at the bottom, and well, actually I'll start at the top, sorry. And I'm going to click and select everything, because I generally want to take all the content out of this course that's linked in this course and move it to the new course. That's what the migration is. But we've also been told in this particular course that not to migrate the PowerPoints. She's going to redo them. So I'm going to uncheck all of the PowerPoints. We're not migrating those. So she's going to get those and migrate those herself. So I know there's more because I already did this once. So there's the week 1 introduction PowerPoint, and week 10, we saw week 3 readings and week 3, so we know that we need that. Week 5, week 7, these are all PowerPoints. We don't need these. So, but we do need all this other stuff because we're assuming that that it's been linked somewhere in the course. So, these are PDFs. They're generally reading, and most of the stuff that we're linking is generally PDFs. This is a course outline blank. Remember, we looked and saw on the syllabus that they have to do a chapter outline every week in this course. So this is that template. We'll probably rename it. So we want to do this. Now, none of these are actually named in a way that is appropriate for ADA compliance. So we'll probably go in and actually rename them while we're organizing. But in the meantime, we will we'll go in here and download it. So once we have everything selected that we want to download, we will go back up here and we are going to download the package, which begins downloading down here. That's a few megabytes generally because it's a bunch of stuff. So we'll wait until it downloads. It's 9.8 megabytes, and we're going to show in folder. There it is. I've done this once, so basically that's why you see it down here with the 1 on it, but I had to start the video over. So now I'm going to open up that. Now I can just go in and grab all this stuff, and I believe I can just move it. So I want to put it in this migrated content not organized course file. So I'm going to just pull it all over there, and it's copying it all over there. So that's good. And if we open up that, there's all the stuff that we need to migrate. So I've done this a few minutes ago already and wondered it. So now we're going to go over to course modules. And actually, I'm going to close all these windows out. And we're going to go over to course modules, and we're going to open each of these in a new tab so that we can quickly see if we can move this stuff pretty quickly based on the pages that we see. So let's do, there's 16 weeks, let's do 8 weeks. So in week 1, there is a PowerPoint, but we didn't move that, so we don't have to take and add anything to move anything out of the migrated content into, oops. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna move this like that, and I'm gonna open this in a new window and move it down here. Actually, do that. And then move this one and move it down here. Down. Down. I do want to do this. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of clumsy here. Let's just move this back this direction, because we're not going to need to see that as much. All right, I'm not stopping this video because I'm having this problem. I'm going to try to make it work. There we go. There's that. There's the migrated content right down there. There's the weeks up there. If we want to kind of go a little bit more that way, we can do that to give us a little more access to the migrated content. So week 1, there's nothing. No, this PowerPoint doesn't get migrated. We aren't migrating PowerPoints. Week 2, same thing, nothing. Week 3, we had the readings, week 3 readings PDF. So we are moving those. Actually, I will make sure that I can see the week 3 folder so I can get it in there. Week 3, I'm moving that there. So that got moved. Now week 4, okay, so let's look at week 3. If it is a document, you'll see it linked here. And if we go to week 4, we see that there are folders and there's videos in here, and how policy is made. So we want to grab the how policy is made and move it into week 4, which I did before I redid the video. So we'll just pretend I did that. So we'll go back. Okay, so now week 5, there's the PowerPoint. This would not be a PDF that we would have. This is going to be a web address. So if it doesn't have the PDF listed in the pane, then you don't have to look for that. And then so we'll open up policy statements and see if any of these are PDFs, and they aren't. Those are all websites. We'll come back. We'll have to have this course open while we're doing the migration, so that we can grab those web addresses while we're doing the readings and materials pages. So this one is a lecture, which we won't have, and then we'll look in these folders to see if any of them contain PDF links. And none of them do, so we'll go back. And US Census, these are all web addresses as well. This is an assignment, but we'll come back for it. Remember, everything we need is going to be in this Blackboard, so there's an assignment there that we'll have to get, or a discussion. Okay, so there's that. Week 7, there's a PDF. video, let's see what's here. Nothing here shows any PDFs. This is a video, a video, a video. So we're not getting anything there. We can go back. And that's a link. We don't need that. So we can just close that. We'll get that later when we're actually migrating. Week 7, gun violence. Let's see if there's any PDFs linked inside here. These are all, firearms in other countries. This is all web addresses. I'll show you later how to migrate web addresses. And another one. So all of this stuff will show up on one page, and you won't have to go into a folder, into a folder, into a folder, which I hate. And then legislative links, and none of these show PDFs, so we don't have to migrate anything there. And so we'll go to the next one. Of course, this is how you tell it's a link to a document. It'll click on it, it'll start downloading. Here we go. So this is week 8. So we want to find issue beyond belief in our right there, and we want to expose week 8. And we want to click and move issue beyond belief into week 8. We'll come back later and we'll rename that, but I'll show you a good way to do that. Week 8. So this is an assignment we'll come back in and use to migrate later. So now we've taken care of weeks 1 through 8. And now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here. Open in a new tab all the way to week 16. And we'll okay. So now we're going to look at, there's your PowerPoint. We're going to look in this folder. Is there any, so this is stuff that we'll have to migrate, but this right here, 18, 19, that goes into week, what is this, week 9? I believe it's week 9. I'm sorry, I lost track. Week 9. So health insurance across the globe. So we want to move 18, 19 into week 9. All right, go back. And then we open up this one, I can't remember, but we'll look. Important definition. This is all stuff we'll have to migrate, but it does not, it's not a document. So we'll go back. What will the future look like? And this is stuff that we just will migrate later. Okay. Week 9 discussion question. This will go into a discussion. So let's go, let's go, we can close week 9 and get to week 10. There's our PowerPoint we don't need. So I'm looking through here. Lancet is week 10. We'll just go ahead and grab Lancet, Chip, move it into week 10. This is a link that you'll need to get later. And this goes with the discussion question, but it also goes on the readings and material page. Let's go to this one and see if any of these are websites. Health disparities, cost. These are all, this is economic burden. So there's one in this week that we need to grab called economic burden. So this goes in week 10. Oops, I put it in the wrong week. I'm going to actually cut. You want me to cut? I'm going to move that to week 10. It's not week 11 anymore. I can close this now. Okay. So the rest of these are websites that we will have to move later. I think I've said that. Back. Okay, we've already done this. I'm going to close this. This is week 11. Don't see any more folders in here, and I don't see, oh, all I see there is the PowerPoint. Now week 12. There's nothing. Week 13. Health quality, week 13. Move. Oops. Let's get back to week 13. There we go. It's replaced. I'm going to replace it. I did that earlier. So nothing else in week 13. Week 14. Preparedness PDF. Oh, here we go. Here's some documents. So we want to make sure we have preparedness. We'll go to week 14. Conceptualizing. We'll also go to week 14. Those are all web addresses. SNS Hurricane Maria. Goes into week 14. And that's it. There's no folders here. And apparently it did not open. Oh, this goes from week 14 to week 16. So let's see what's in here. Is there anything listed under important health topics? Oh, quite a few things, or at least one thing. So this is week 16. So opioid goes there. Artificial intelligence. Oops, did not mean to do that. Artificial intelligence goes there. Tax reform and healthcare. Move that. SDOH. Move that. UCS Trump. Move that. And it looks like there's not a whole lot in here left. Chapter 3 updated. Oh, we accidentally brought a PowerPoint over. Chapter outline. We're going to add the chapter outline blank to the additional resources because we're going to use that. Actually, we're just going to put it in the folder down here so that we see where it is. So let's see. There it is. Headshot. How is policy made? We didn't need that. Program implementation syllabus. We're not going to bring that over. Actually, do we have a syllabus? I think we do. So now we're done with the Blackboard course. We're going to close, or at least minimize that. And we're going to go here. We can close this, and we can close this, and this, and this, and this. And now we're just going to look at our folder that we have our stuff in, the stuff that we organized. Now, when we're all done with the course organization, I think we can kill this and this and this and this and this. I don't know where the ACA Consumer Health goes. It might go somewhere, so I'm just going to delete these. I don't know. Okay, so what I like to do, because I'm going to actually go in and rename stuff, is I like to view this with the preview pane. So there it is, right there. And the reason why I do that is so that I can rename stuff. So I can click on this and see what it says, what it is. Ah, so this is probably used somewhere. I just don't know where yet. So that's an image. That we can delete because we don't need that. So I'm going to delete that. And this preview pane, I'm deleting that. And so ACA and Consumer Health PDF. So this is kind of where I would come over here and I would rename this. The Affordable Care Act and Consumer Well-being, and underscore knowns and unknowns. Okay, so hit enter. Now that renames that. We'll need this somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but we'll have it over here. And I actually think we'll just leave that for now. So now we'll go back to this and we'll look in each of our folders. And let's go to week 3. So this is a readings PDF. So we want to rename this Perinatal Legislative Policies and Health Outcomes. Okay, so there's that. And then we're going to go through and do that for everything. And the reason why we do that is when we upload it then into Canvas, once we upload in Canvas, it becomes ADA compliant. It can be read. How governmental policy is made, we're going to rename this. People name these things crazy things that are not read by a screen reader. So we try to create names that actually work for ADA compliance. We try to make sure everything that we're doing in our courses is ADA compliant. And luckily we don't have a ton. Sometimes there is a ton. And that takes quite a bit of time. So see, this is like issue brief beyond healthcare. So this doesn't even match up with the name. So I'm going to actually rename it to Beyond Health Care. And then you can't put in, you cannot put in a colon. They won't accept it. So the social that's all I'm putting in there. That's readable. And I may change that later when I actually put it in the course. So, but right now we're just going with that. Sometimes the titles are super long. Okay, oops. And that's what you do. You go through until you find, and you get all the titles ADA compliant. And I don't need to do this all the way through, but before I upload it into the course, So this is organizing this is preparing the content for uploading into the Canvas course. So since there will be stuff for week 2, week 3, week 4, because they'll have PowerPoints. We'll leave those PowerPoints in there. I think, and usually they will, I thought I could, bringing recovery and consumers' views into the, and that's all I'm putting on that string. Okay, into that. There is a week that has several things in it, and I'm going to go in and rename all these. I don't need to show you this via email, but I will, when I do in the next video, we'll be uploading all this stuff into Canvas. So it's important to have all this stuff labeled something that makes sense, because a lot of these names just don't even make sense when you look at them. Okay, so there's that. This video is going to be done. The next video in the series of videos for this migration is again about preparing for starting the migration. So the steps were: go migrate any quizzes that you need to, take your content out of Canvas, and out of Blackboard, and organize it into Canvas. Go through the Blackboard course, find out where it goes, and then once you do that, rename everything, and then it'll all be in folders, named properly, and then we'll upload it into Canvas. And the next step in the process is getting it into Canvas.